Welcome to Blue Compass, where today I'm sharing 10 things that I've learned from starting and running a small business. So in honor of Small Business Week, we are focusing on our wonderful small business clients and just all the small businesses that make our communities and our country work. And I've been blessed to have the opportunity to co-found Blue Compass and been on the journey of running this business for the last 14 years now. And I've learned a lot of things in this process, as you might imagine. And so here are just 10 of the things that I've learned that might be able to help you on your small business journey. Number 10 is give away your expertise. There are so many opportunities to share what you know with your audience. And a lot of times, small business owners might initially think, I need to keep this to myself. I don't want my competitors to learn about this. But I've really found that if you give this expertise away, especially via blog articles, via videos, via speaking engagements, it's the best way to prove your expertise. The best way to be an expert isn't just to claim you're the expert, it's to show it. And so don't hesitate to give away some of your trade secrets to empower your audience by giving them value. We've really seen this help not only just our clients, but Blue Compass as well. Number 9 is to simply keep learning. So we have 5 main values here at Blue Compass, and one of them is we continually grow our expertise. And so it's extremely important for all of us to get better and improve, because if you're not moving forward as an individual or as a business, you will automatically fall behind. So dedicate yourself as a leader to continually growing your expertise, not only in your industry and your craft, but also in your leadership. Number 8 is that listening is one of your most powerful tools. So there's a quote that I really love which says, the biggest communication problem is that we listen to respond, we don't listen to understand. And I think that's really true. So as a leader, as a small business owner, one of the things you should be doing is simply listening, not always talking, not always trying to get your point of view out there, but listening to your team members, listening to your client, because you'll learn a lot and you also create great relationships when you listen. Number 7 is to always focus on growth. So I had a friend ask me, are you comfortable with where Blue Compass is right now? Do you want to kind of stay where you're at, or are you guys looking to grow? And if you're ever asked that question for your small business, the answer should always be, we want to grow. Because you can't stay in one place. If you try to do that, you'll fall behind the competitors, you'll fall behind technologically, your expertise will fall behind. So always be focused on how can you better serve your clients and how can you better serve your team members. How can you grow? Not just profits, but also growing, of course, the expertise and your team members. Number 6 is to reject fear. So as a leader, it's incredibly important for you not to focus on those negatives, but to reject them when they come to your mind. And it's really, really easy to be fearful, but I've found that fear stands for false evidence appearing real. 99% of the things we worry about just don't ever happen. So reject feelings of fear, don't worry about what might come, and realize that your business is going to experience ups and downs, it goes in cycles. Don't let worry take you. Number 5 is to be comfortable giving up control. I learned early on as a leader that it's difficult to give control to someone else. And generally people who start businesses are micromanaging, they have their hands in everything, and sometimes you'll have the attitude, it's not gonna be done right if I don't do it. And I was certainly a victim to that thinking as well. But one of the greatest blessings of working at Blue Compass over these years has been hiring really great people who do things better than I do. And I can see over the years, as I've stepped out of more things, as I've stepped out of doing design, as I've stepped more out of doing direct sales, as I've stepped more out of project management early on, those things generally seem to go better when real experts who know what they're doing run them. So take joy in giving up control and letting really talented people that you hire run those things. Number 4 is that customers will never truly love your company before your team does. One of the things we've learned over the years is to put the team before the clients. Now that sounds really negative at first, but hear me out. If you focus on your team, if you work on creating a great culture where they can enjoy work, where they feel supported, where no one's looking over their back because someone else is going to take their credit, it empowers people to have fun, to enjoy their job, and to be really creative at their work. And that enables your team members to treat your customers incredibly well and give them great work. So we always try to focus first on the team here and just creating a great culture that really fosters them. Number 3 is surround yourself with the right people. Early on, probably one of the biggest mistakes I made as a leader was hiring people who didn't fit in at Blue Compass, who didn't believe in our mission and our values. And that was difficult for our culture early on. And so as a leader, one of the things you need to be really good at is getting great, talented people, but even more importantly, people who believe in your values, who believe in your mission, and who want to push your business to where it needs to go. So add good people to your team who are going to be supportive of one another. Don't just grab someone and hope for the best without hardly interviewing them or just looking at a resume. The person's personality is what really matters, because you can teach skills, but you can't teach personality. Number 2 is that you become what you think about. Proverbs 23:7 says, "So as he thinks in his heart, so he is." And I think that's incredibly true. We become what we think about. So as a leader, you're going to have many times that your small business is going to come to mind and you're going to feel fearful. You're going to wonder about the bottom line. You're going to wonder if you can make ends meet. Sometimes we have attitudes of, when will this fall apart? But don't let yourself think like that. Instead of play not to lose, play to win. Think about positive things. Think about the direction you want the company to go. And don't let your own mind hold you back. It's a big challenge for small business owners, but it's incredibly important to stay positive. And number 1 is that leaders sit with the team, not ahead of the team. So many years ago, I went to a conference and it was in a different state. I flew there with some team members, and when we got there, we noticed that there was a booth set up, and the leader of that team was sitting there on her phone, not really paying attention, while her team members were walking around, talking to people, trying to get more sales and more connections. And I walked by again later, and the same thing was happening. That leader was just sitting there on her phone, not really interacting with her team. And then we got on an airplane at the end of the conference, and we're going to fly back home. And as I walked throughout the plane, I noticed that sitting there in first class was this leader. And then her team members were literally sitting in the very back seats of the plane. And so that really impacted me, and that taught me that leaders sit with their team and bosses sit ahead of their team. And so we want to be great leaders as small business owners. It's so important that you don't just tell your team what to do, but you're there in the trenches with them. I love this graphic here. I think this illustrates it really well. Don't tell your team what to do, don't command your team, but use servant leadership to serve them, check in with them, see how they're doing, be an encouraging leader, and don't be afraid to do anything that you would ask your team to do. So I hope those things were helpful for you. If your small business needs a hand getting the word out, if you're struggling to grow, don't hesitate to reach out to us here at Blue Compass. We do incredible digital marketing, website design and development, and we'd love to give you a hand. Thanks, and I'll talk to you next time.